What would you like to do?
How did you get this and how will you use it and why?
So we were kind of lucky this year. Bill Camarda was able to get a grant so that we could get this simulator. The driving program that we use actually has a chapter that's devoted just to the benefits of simulation. And in that video program, it shows some people that are actually using this. And I always tell the class it'd be really great if we could have a chance to get one of these things. And then one day Bill called me and he said, hey, we're going to get a simulator. And so the plan is that we're going to be able to take new people that have been in the class. They can go through our obstacle course right on this simulator before they even get into the ambulance. And it's got lots of real life situations where you can respond to an emergency, and there's things like cars that pull out in front of you, or bicyclists, or there's animals that may jump out in front of you. But it really is designed to give people a better understanding of how to drive in an emergency situation. So it's a great piece of equipment. We're learning how to use it. It's loaded with probably 50 or so scenarios, and it's got its own little town. So there's rural driving, there's driving within a city. The one thing that I appreciate the most about this is that we can teach our people how to drive in Bennington, but we can't teach them how to drive, let's say if they've got to go to New York City or Boston. But with a simulator now, we can at least prepare them a little bit better for driving in a city. So it's a great piece of equipment. Take it for a spin.
Eden wasn't here, so you get hit with a Nerf dart. All right, well, welcome everybody for coming. Thank you for coming. We try to do this every year now. This is our third year here having our annual awards ceremony. This is EMS Recognition Day of EMS Week. So this day is supposed to be for EMS providers and recognizing all the hard work that they do. At the same time, we need everybody's help ourselves as an EMS organization. So to serve the community, we need the support of our community, and we also need your help when an emergency occurs. So if you go to the back of the room, there's little red and purple pouches. The red pouch is a combination basic stop the bleed kit. It doesn't have anything fancy like a tourniquet in it, but it also has 2 doses of Narcan. So 3 things that will kill somebody before we get to somebody as fast as we can be is when their heart stops, when they stop breathing, or when they're bleeding severely. So those are the 3 things we need help with. In the back, we're also doing a promotion with in combination with Calix Ambulance up in St. Johnsbury, to provide low-cost AEDs, naloxone, and for like an upcharge, an actual stop-the-bleed kit that comes with a tourniquet and other components, so that businesses, organizations, sports clubs, homes even, can have that life-saving equipment available to them. It's still a few $100s, so we know that's not super accessible, but we're always looking for grants to try and make that as low or no cost as possible.
Thank you, Cambridge Partners.
So Cambridge won't be here to accept their partner award since they're covering us for a call. Hopefully, if we get more people will be leaving. So those are just some simple ways that we ask people to help us. Of course, donations always help too. Even just writing, whether it's your town officials, your own legislators, you can find on our website, there are links to fill out a simple form. It'll email your legislators to let them know that EMS is important. There you go, Tammy. I'm going to leave that running in the background. So these are some of the things that we like to highlight, but we're trying to keep it short. It's before a holiday weekend. It feels kind of like more like Thanksgiving than Memorial Day out there in the weather, but it's still a holiday weekend. Some of us will be working this weekend, though. I think most of us here, right? Yeah. I'm doing some night shifts next week because we have some folks on vacation. I'm going to open it up to our other speakers now. I don't think Gary from Turning Point made it today, so he won't be talking, so we cross that off the list. So that puts Pam, Jill, and Dr. Maynard up. Dr. Burns. Dr. Maynard. You're next for the PhD, right? You can tag team, whatever you.
So for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Dr. Burns. I work down in the ER, and I'm also the medical director for this. What is this?
Must be a microphone.
Oh, hi. I'm Dr. Burns. It's nice to meet you. It's good to be here.
Was that it?
No,
okay.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, okay, great. Hi, I'm Pam Duchesne. I'm Vice President Patient Care, Chief Nursing and Quality Officer at SVMC, and happy to be here. And thank you for all that you do for our community.
Jill Maynard, I don't need a microphone. I'm the nursing director for emergency services at Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, which covers our emergency department, our express care, and I do a lot of liaison work with EMS. So I'll just kick off. I know we have 1 to 3 minutes total to speak. I talk a lot, so I'll be very brief. Not only are you partners to us, we're partners to you. I appreciate all of the work that the crews do out on the field, but more importantly, what's important for the community to know is that extends far beyond what you think of as pre-hospital providers and EMS providers. Bennington Rescue consistently comes into the ER to drop patients off, and they go above and beyond. If they see that we're busy, you'll see them flipping rooms, you'll see them cleaning stretchers, you'll see them grabbing warm blankets and cups of water for patients. You'll see them escorting somebody that's lost to the bathroom when they shouldn't be walking by themselves. They're catching them. They provide moral support. They remind us that they're in it with us. And so that partnership goes far beyond the exchange of patient information. It really is a team that keeps our patients safe and keeps our community moving forward. And we're all in this for our community. So that work is greatly appreciated. On top of that is the level of clinical competence that comes along with providers from Bennington Rescue. There's a long history of clinical expertise in this organization, and we see that now. Bill and the management team do a great job of bringing in and building up new staff through the internship program, through all of the different levels. The training here far exceeds what you see in many places. So just know that in the heat of the moment, we may not always express how grateful we are for all of you and the clinical expertise that you bring to the pre-hospital care setting, but what you do makes a difference, and the patient's outcome is directly affected by the work that you do. And that is, we see that, we know that, we feel that, so we just don't always say that. So thank you.
But we should always say that, right? Right. I too want to thank you for all that you bring to our community, for the safety, the level of safety that you bring within our community. And I just want to point out, where's Bill? There, right, right. One of the things that Bill brings to the community that I really appreciate is his wife. Dr. Allison Camarda, who got graduated with her PhD this past weekend. I know, it's really, really good. And Allison has been one of the reasons why we've been able to submit for our 6th Magnet recognition. But you are a big piece of what makes us safe within our community. And as a member of the community, I'm really grateful to have you here. Also, for the number of times that I've been at CLR and picked up the phone and had to call you, also really grateful that you're willing to do that little bit of the journey across the parking lot, because it makes a huge difference for some of the very sickest of our patients within this community. Thank you.
Yeah, well said. Agreed on all fronts. I'll say probably the biggest thing that I think you guys do well are 2 things. So the collaboration aspect, like when I'm sitting here and I'm seeing all the different stuff like between PD and UCS and the hospital and Albany and all these other places, all these different facets that keep a community healthy and safe. None of them work well in a silo, and you guys are very much the gel that links all these things, and like you're everywhere, basically, interacting with everyone, which is huge. And while you're doing that, you're also incredibly smart and staying up to date with some of the coolest like training capabilities, but you guys lift each other up. Like I watch, I've only been doing this now for 2 or 3 years, but I've watched people taking each next step, always improving, always looking to like learn more. It's true you really care about the people you take care of, and it probably doesn't hurt that most of them are like your neighbors, as I am in Shaftesbury. One of these days I'll park back in your car when I crash my bike or something. So thank you for doing what you do, and I look forward to continuing to support that moving forward. So.
I forget my own agenda. Mike, got to put it down for a minute.
Hi, I'm Mike. For those who don't know me, I work at Cat TV in town, but I asked Bill if I could share this quick story. I've been friends with Forrest Wyan for a long time, a previous executive director here, and he comes up and skis in the winter. So he was up this past winter, and we were having a dinner at my house with my wife, who has some food allergies. Unfortunately, had cross-contamination in the food we got, so she instantly recognized that that was an issue in her throat, and Forrest was able to be there and comfort her, but I was able to go get some Benadryl. But in that moment, he said, I'm going to have some people make a house call. And I said, only if you need to, if it's that serious. So Rick and his partner were there. Yes, thank you, there you are. And you guys were professional, caring, kind. I can't thank you enough for what you did. I really appreciate it. So I just want to share that your service, all of you, is really crucial and critical to our community. So thank you very much.
I should just carry this with me. All right, Rick, you're up. You clicked the button to say you wanted to talk.
Yeah, I did. So I'm just going to be very brief, but kind of nostalgic, and that is that 14 years ago I started here, and I never thought that at this point in time I'd be the most senior member that's here. Seen a lot of changes here, just as far as equipment and things that we've been able to get, and the things that we've been able to do with all of these tools. Anywhere from cardiac care to putting people on ventilators and medication pumps. We've got it all. And as has already been said, you know, we have a simulation ambulance. We now have a driving simulator. I again want to give Bill credit for getting grant monies for these things because they really help us, and they're going to help us in the future and to continue. So that's my nostalgia for the day.
So I'm Andrew Cincini. I'm an EMT here, and I clicked the box when I RSVP'd and did not realize that I would have to speak in front of folks. But so EMS is improvisation, right? So basically, I've been here a little bit over a year now. I came here in the middle of a painful divorce, and I think for a lot of us, this work is a way to help others while we help ourselves as well. And I'm really grateful for Bill, the board, the team, and our partners for all that they've done, as well as our patients, as annoying as a few of them might be at times. Rick, who was one of my FTOs early on, said it's really great to come to work every day and know that you're gonna help at least one person, hopefully a lot more than that. And that's really what's made this the best job I've ever had. So I really enjoy working with the crew here, and I hope I'll be here for another year or so. I don't know. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay. No, I intentionally hit the button. Okay. Hi, I'm Alex. So one of the things that I just wanted to say is that this is one of the greatest places that I've had the pleasure of working, and I'm grateful for everyone that I've met and people that we deal with, same as Andrew, you know, some a little bit less than others. But really it's thanks, Bill, for all that you've done and supported, especially my journey, but along with everyone else's. And, you know, as long as you know, I mean, I love the job even when I dislike it, so I have no complaints. And Greg's gonna help me out now.
I'm gonna see if I can make this work.
You might need to use the actual, if there's one on the TV.
On the TV.
Our IT is too good.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
USBs are forbidden.
Is it over here?
Thanks everyone for coming.
Once it's in, how do you make it go?
I use the remote.
Oh, goody.
Thank you, Bill.
That's going to be the camera. So this is the actual view that you can have out here. What's going on in there? It's on wheels, so we can take it over there to do the simulation.
USB port.
Okay.
Is it?
That's what he say.
Technical details.
Sorry, Bill, we purposely didn't give this to you ahead of time.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry. But also not sorry at the same time.
TV inputs.
Yeah, he brought Plan B, yes.
Thank you, Greg.
Oh, did you get it?
No.
All right, I got Plan B here.
Okay.
We like Plan B.
You have a USB-C.
We're gonna try.
Hey, Bill. I just wanted to tell you thank you for everything you do for us at the squad, everything you've done for me. You've taken a lot of initiative in allowing me to become an EMT, working with me, and really making my dream come true to be in the EMS field. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Happy EMS Week, Bill. Thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for being the glue that holds this place together. You rule.
Happy EMS Week, Bill. I think it's unfair. Only a week to appreciate. We appreciate you all year long. Thanks for supporting my EMS journey from the beginning and believing in me, even in the moments when I need to be dedicated. Thank you. Hope you have the best week.
Thank you, Bill. Happy EMS week. You know, we can't do any of this without you. Thank you for believing in us when we don't believe in ourselves.
Hey Bill, we really appreciate everything that you do for us, keeping this place afloat and building us back to what we need to be. We appreciate how well you handle all of our insecurities about ourselves and how you are just absolutely gung-ho for us and Bennington Rescue. We appreciate it.
Hey Bill. You and I are definitely alike in a lot of ways. We like our space more than anything. We tend to be disappeared from everyone all the time. You do more things than most people tend to realize. Eventually it gets noticed. I definitely notice when you do things. Thank you for everything that you do for all of us. And thank you for being there to chat whenever someone wanted to chat with you and making the effort to do so. I know that's not easy. I look forward to being here for many more years.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do for our agency. You're an amazing provider and an excellent educator. I feel thankful that I had you for both my EMT and my AEMT. We wouldn't be who we are without you, and I am very thankful for you on this EMS week.
Thanks, Bill, for all your years of dedicated service. We wouldn't be here without you. Thanks.
Bill, thank you for everything you've done and do for all of us here. Bennington Rescue, we all appreciate it. Thank you for the apprentice program. Without finding this, I don't know what I would be doing today. This really means a lot to me, and I truly appreciate you working with me so I can complete this journey in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, for everything you've done for us, everything you do for us, and for showing up even when there's days you probably don't want to.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, Bill, thanks for all you've done for this agency and for me over the years, helping me get my EMR and my EMT and now my AEMT. And thanks in advance for helping me get my paramedic. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill, for everything you do. Thank you for getting me through this class. Thank you for coming to Bennington Rescue every day.
Bill, thank you for all you do on admin side and also for being so willing and knowledgeable to help during class when we needed it.
Hi, Bill. Just want to thank you for all your work and all your devotion to Bennington Rescue. I really do appreciate the fact that you have been working tirelessly to get us grant money. With that, we're able to get a driving simulator that's worth over $100,000. We're able to get a simulation ambulance, as well as all sorts of well-needed equipment for the ambulances. So we do thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, thank you, Bill. I just wanted to say over the past year, I've just loved this opportunity to be able to practice as a paramedic in Vermont, and especially here at Bennington Rescue Squad. So I just wanted to give you my thanks.
And finally, a thank you from everybody who wasn't able to report for you today, and a personal thank you from me. I don't think that I would be where I am today without your guidance. I appreciate you.
Yay, Bill!
Thank you, everybody. I said I'm going to try this year.
It was my aim to do it. Did I succeed?
It wasn't as if it was
It's your
planned.
turn now, anyway.
It is my turn, yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah. So if you want to cue that while I'm talking, that'd be good.
Thank
So,
you for dealing with our technical line.
yeah, I always have a plan B. You know, as a photographer, you always want to have redundancy, extra cameras, flashes, whatnot. So I just want to say a few words. I'm a board member here at Bennington Rescue, and been a little over 3 years now. I've been volunteering as a photographer for 8 years now, a little over 8 years. And when they asked me to join the board, my first thought was I don't have any medical background. And I really thought they just needed a warm body for the seat. But I actually, went into it a little hesitantly, but I knew from the beginning the level of professionalism and the level of training that went on here, and I did say yes. And then when I had access to, being to the board meetings and getting to know the crew even more, I was just even more impressed with the staff here, and Bill and Brenda and Katie and all the people who support this crew day in and day out. And just to see what these people do for work day in and day out is really incredible. They really are heroes. So part of my job is also to market for recruiting and just to feature these people who really are heroes. And I've decided we started with Alex, did a profile, and now I wanted to share with you a second profile of Rick Knoll, just to show off this staff that really do go above and beyond every day for this community. And and that's it. I'm just so impressed with what you guys do, and just wanted to let everybody know. And this is my way of being able to do that. So here is Rick Knoll, if I didn't screw up the TV.
They can blame me.
It's Mike. There we go.
You're also HDMI 4 on the...
Chip, I unplugged it on purpose.
I started out in 1989. I lived in Reedsboro, Vermont. I had already joined the fire department and realized that there was a need for people to help out and to volunteer on the ambulance. So at that point, I took an emergency care attendant course that allowed me to work on the ambulance. A few years later, the opportunity came and I took an EMT class out here in Bennington. In 2009, I came to Bennington. I worked for another agency in town. They just primarily did interfacility transfers from hospital to hospital. Around 2011, I decided that I would join Bennington Rescue, and I've been there since 2011. During that time, I've had an opportunity to do a number of different things. One, become a field training officer. I've also taken courses to become a driving instructor. More recently, I was voted to become a lieutenant for the agency, and that's really where we are right now. Along with that, I have a chance to teach courses here. I teach first aid, I teach CPR, I teach Stop the Bleed, I teach Narcan administration. But in the agency, I'm primarily responsible for teaching all of the driving courses. Every employee at Bennington Rescue must go through a rigorous driver training program. This consists of an 8-hour classroom portion of a program called EVOS, which is Emergency Vehicle Operator Safety, followed by an 8-hour competency course. So the competency course consists of a number of stations. The first station is driving down between a set of cones forward and then in reverse. The second station is what's called a serpentine, where they need to drive around and then between a set of cones, both forward and backward. From that, there is a backing and a turning component where they must drive forward and then back to the right and then back to the left. We've recently been putting together some small first aid kits that we can hand out at different community events. Plus, we've also been working on putting together Narcan kits that can be left at different agencies, and there's now a big focus on trying to get these available within local businesses. So during my time here, we've had a chance to interact with a number of different agencies. We're at the hospital every day. We see people that are on the different floors. We take patients from there. We take patients from what's called the emergency crisis area in the hospital. These are primarily folks that need to go to another facility for some sort of a mental health care.
My name is Brenda Madison. I've worked here at SBNC for almost 17 years. And I've known Rick through EMS because I also did that for 20 years. So I met him through that. Our interaction here is just continued. It's the same. It's great. I get happy when I see him. Rick is very kind, very polite. He is always caring and he's courteous. He's just a good guy. Rick has been picking up our mental health patients for quite a while, and you know that they're going to be treated with respect. Conversation will be good. He likes to joke with them, so he's good. He's great.
I remember one time that we were dispatched to the local VA clinic for a veteran who was having a mental health crisis. At that time, staff had been working with this person for well over an hour. They didn't seem to be making any progress. They did see the need for this person to be better taken care of at the hospital. When we arrived, I was met by one of the nurses that I've known for several years, Janet O'Brien. And we talked about a number of different things that had previously happened to this patient. We talked about some of the things that they had tried to be able to calm this person down. And with that information, we were able to go in and sit down and over several minutes, calmly talk to them and then get them to the point where they were in a better place and they wanted to be transported to the hospital for additional help.
So when I call for an ambulance and I even just hear Rick's voice, I am so reassured that I know my veteran's going to be in great hands and well taken care of. He just has that demeanor that I have learned to appreciate and look forward to. He just is calming, even to me. If I'm nervous as a nurse, he calms me down and takes wonderful care of my patients. He truly is a blessing. He's in the right field.
Looking back over the last 14 years, some of the things that I'm most proud of are my ability to grow both personally and professionally in this field. I've had a number of opportunities to build relationships both with folks that work in facilities plus the folks here at the agency. And I really hope that over this time I have truly made a difference in people's lives.
So that's it. Yeah, these crew are amazing, and I just wanted to spotlight them and hold them up for the community to get to know them better. And there's more to come. So thank you. Thank you.
You can find all of these on their Facebook. Soon to be on their website. Brian, you're up.
Welcome, everybody. I promise I won't say anything about this. Can I use my teacher voice, or do I need this? All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I'm Brian Howe, chair of the board. Greg is also a member of the board, and Nick, right there, is also a member. So our job really is to make sure that the organization has a solid footing, both personnel-wise and administrative-wise and financial. And we've worked very hard, and Bill has done an incredible job to make sure in the past 3 years that we are really on a solid footing. Things are hard, both the atmosphere of politics and finances. We're always worried about what's going to happen next, but that's our job. But we appreciate all the work, especially the EMTs do and the paramedics do in the field. Interesting, was I the teacher? Was I your instructor? Makes me feel old, but I think I taught the EMT class that Rick was in. And that's the one thing I miss about being in the field. The biggest thing I miss is teaching and teaching the EMT courses. And thank you to the partners, especially the hospital. I remember going, starting out, we wanted to do a lot of things out in the field. And it was a struggle just to do heart monitoring, just to do defibrillation, starting IVs. It was a huge struggle. But now I think and the partner in the hospital and the clinical staff kind of allows you to experiment and get better and to add new clinical competencies to what you do out in the field. So I really appreciate that. Fun fact, my first CPR class that I ever took, I think it was in high school, getting ready to join here. A precordial thump was a mandatory thing to do before you started compressions. It's look, listen, and feel, and whap. Luckily, the American Heart Association and the Red Cross decided that and discovered through their research that too many people were going to the emergency room, in fact, did have a pulse, but ended up with broken ribs. And so they stopped doing it. But I did have an ER doctor tell me to do a precordial thump in the back of the rig, because before we did defibrillation, we were allowed to do basic cardiac monitoring. And doctor said, try it, didn't work. But interestingly, the same doctor I watched when I was up there delivering a cardiac arrest patient did a precordial thump, and it worked. And everybody in that room was I think it was the first time any of us had seen a precordial thump, including the doctor, work. But things have come a long way. Thank you to Bill. Thank you to all of you. And thank you to our partners. I think we got the good stuff coming up next, right? Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so I got a brief statement about each of these awards. I didn't write it much at all. So a few folks aren't here, so I'd just like to kind of say thank you to them in advance. These are most of our partner awards, so we'll save the ones that are here for here. Police department hasn't been able to make it for 2 years in a row because they're out working. I know Cam today is out on the road, Lieutenant Grande, so he wasn't able to make it, and the chief had to go to a wedding out of state, so he wasn't able to make it today. He did send his message, which has been flashing on the screen there. We work very closely with the police department every day. 90% of our calls are in Bennington. We see the police on many of them, especially high acuity calls, because now we've trained all of their staff to be basic first responders here in Vermont. And we obtained and gave them 4 AEDs through a grant program so that they can go and start CPR and defibrillate before we get there. So that has been a huge improvement in our cardiac arrest care just through their willingness to come join us for training. We were kind of like brainstorming how can we work together better. It's like, well, do you want to be official first responders? The answer is yes, and we'll be bringing them in this fall for a 4-hour refresher of CPR and the rest of their training so that they can get recertified as first responders, because it's been 2 years now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks to them. One of these days I'll get them both of their awards. I see them all the time, and I wish I could bring them. They're sitting on my desk. The others are for both Pownell Rescue Squad and Cambridge Valley. We've been working very closely with Cambridge Valley for just over 2 years now. We do mutual coverage instead of mutual aid. So if right now they're here covering us, but if we had all of our ambulances out, the last crew is supposed to let dispatch know to put Cambridge on standby. And if they're available, they'll come and get to the state line, or they'll come all the way over to our station. They have an access card, just like one of our crew members would, so they can get through the door, have somewhere to sit, park their ambulance, and not be stuck sitting in an ambulance at the border. We do the exact same for them. So when they get busy, there's been many times that we are covering each other. 1 hour, they'll be covering us at the state line or here. The next hour, we'll be over there covering them at the state line or in their quarters. So we do appreciate that partnership very much. The others for Pownell Rescue Squad, they're our primary mutual aid, but they're also partners with us on a program we've been doing up at the hospital collaboratively. So we appreciate the work that these agencies have put together. These agencies used to not work together at all. So it's nice to have a little bit of positivity coming across and working together for patient outcomes. And the last is for Turning Point. They didn't make it here today either. Turning Point Center is our local peer recovery coach center. So we refer all of our patients that have signs and symptoms of or at-risk factors for substance use disorder, including alcohol use disorder and opioid use disorder, to Turning Point. And they go out and they make a non-conspicuous visit or phone call to try and get in touch with people so that they may be able to get into a program of care. About 20 to 40% of our patients who have some kind of substance use disorder refuse care. So we're the only ones that sometimes see them. So some of them don't even have phones, so we work together now. I keep one in my pocket just in case I always forget that they're in the ambulance, so I need to have one in my pocket as a reminder that we can give them one of these cards, and if they go to Turning Point, if they're homeless or they don't have a phone, and they engage with Turning Point, they now will receive a cell phone, and as long as they remain engaged with Turning Point, they'll receive minutes towards that cell phone each month, so then they have some way to get on the internet, find where help is. We also carry the help maps that the Alliance for Community Transformations has put together that you can find online as well, but we carry physical ones because some people don't have access to the internet. We all take it for granted, but when you're living and you don't have housing, you probably don't have internet. You probably don't have a phone. You need a physical map, and we can provide those to them as well. On top of all the harm reduction stuff that we carry, we provide to the public and to our patients or bystanders. Whoever will take it, we'll give them. We've got lots of Narcan to give out, and we will continue to do so. Opioid deaths have reduced again for the second year in a row, and especially here in Bennington, they're down almost double what they were. We see more ER visits and people in care now, but we see less deaths, and that's the whole goal. The last is for our long-term and largest partner, we keep getting one of these every year, Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, for all of our partnerships and collaboration together. Yeah, sometimes we have little disagreements or things we need to work out, or maybe somebody says something silly, but we address those right away. We have that kind of communication, and we appreciate that. So whoever would like to come up. Come on, the whole crew. All right, now we're getting the crew awards. I got to remember which order I put these down, face down, because too many people are nosy and looking at them. These are secrets to all of our providers, so they don't know they're getting them. We just told them they should be here. The first is a letter of commendation. This is going to, after I read the story, you'll probably understand it. This is from Mary Drew, with permission to use her name. My mom, Shirley Hurtubise, needed transport from Bassett Hospital in Cooperstown, New York to CLR in Bennington. My interaction started with Brenda, who was so supportive and helpful in making sure the transfer could take place the next day. Tammy and Timmy were assigned to take the road trip. Halfway to Cooperstown, they got a call that Bassett was delayed, but the whole team took it in stride and helped ease my worry that she wouldn't make it there that day. When they were finally able to pick up my mom and start the transport, they were nothing but kind and compassionate towards her. My mom said it was the best ride she had ever had. She had been transported by another company based in New York 4 other times over the past 2 months. We cannot thank them and you for getting my mom safe and sound to Bennington for us. I've added a few of our own comments here. So Timmy, or T-Buck, as he's known to many here serving at Bennington Rescue for close to 14 years. He's known for his steadfastness and common sense approach to things. Over the years, Timmy has had quite a few roles, including EMT, advanced EMT, field training officer, special operations coordinator, and currently fleet coordinator. Tammy's also been serving Bennington Rescue here, but just for 3 years now. Tammy started as an EMT apprentice, is now as an advanced EMT, an educator, and most recently became a field training officer. Tammy's always helping others, whether it is patients, students, new hires, or colleagues. Brenda is the core of our business office and helps coordinate between outside organizations, patients and their families, our lieutenants and FTOs, and our administrative team to figure out how to help patients get where they need to be and then try to avoid unnecessary patient bills that the patient would be responsible for. Brenda serves in an extra capacity as a Vermont emergency first responder, and sometimes I go and pull her out of the office so that we can have an extra crew when the call volume spikes. So thanks to you, Tammy, Timmy, and Brenda. Come on now. And we'll hold one. We'll pour one out for Cuba. Got myself out of order here. There it is. All right, next is going to be our Community Service Award. This one is going to not a crew member, kind of an honorary member and a member of the Board of Directors. Goes out of his way to spread the mission, vision, and values of Bennington Rescue. This includes countless hours donated to perform professional headshots for all new hires, capturing moments of training, moving into video now, and most recently started our Crew Spotlight series. So we're giving our Community Service Award this year to Greg Nesbitt.
Rick did my headshot.
I'm glad you did.
If you want to leave it here. All right. Next, we have a few Directors Awards. So these are kind of discretionary, but we had a lot of nominations for folks this year, and it was kind of hard to choose who's getting what awards. So let's see, who is here? That is getting. We're going to go with. We have a newer critical care paramedic with us now for about a year at Bennington Rescue. He's experienced some ups and downs during this time. It has remained patient and growth focused. He's always ready to care for patients from the most routine to the sickest. He's also serving in the role as an FTO educator and assisting with EMS courses. As an example from another crew member, here was one of the nomination statements. Within the first few shifts of working with him, I encountered some of the most critically ill and injured patients I've seen yet. A motorcycle crash, an unresponsive MVA, severe throwing up blood. Hypoglycemic emergency, and a cardiac arrest. In every situation, Noah took charge with a professional, calm confidence, while also making an effort to teach and consider the input of his partners. We took an ALS request at Hoosick Falls at 10:58 on a Saturday, the last 2 minutes of our work week. We wrestled with this hypoglycemic guy for a bit, and ended up going to Samaritan and getting back over 3 hours late. He didn't complain, but instead remarked about how glad he was to help this patient. He clearly enjoys this job, and that's always apparent on scene. So for exceptional clinical performance and growth, Noah Carlo. Yes. Thank you, Noah. Let's see, she's not here, so we'll talk about her while she's not here. The next would go to Hannah Rios, a new paramedic for Bennington Rescue. Hannah is a newer crew member at Bennington Rescue with under a year's worth of experience. However, her patients, bystanders, and fellow crew have witnessed her growth and excellent demeanor on scenes. Hannah helps, one quote from one of our crew members was, "Hannah helps so much with the students. She works hard to help the FTOs when training new apprentices on the truck, or even just working through scenarios, talking about them in station." So she had to go on a call, but Hannah Rios, paramedic, gets a director's award for her teamwork. Next, somebody we've seen a lot today already. Rick goes above and beyond for Bennington Rescue. He picks up shifts when they're open. He takes care of the station to make sure everything is good. He is kind and helpful on scenes. He makes sure that he gets good information prior to leaving the scene. He makes sure that the patients feel heard. He knows the ins and outs of Bennington Rescue, and if anyone has a question, he's able to answer it. I appreciate the dedication he has to EMS and how long he has been serving the community for teamwork. Above and beyond, Rick Knoll. Next is we usually, and we did this year, get a nomination for a life-saving award. On this one, we had multiple nominations. Unfortunately, this patient is not appropriate for bringing to Bennington Rescue, but the stabbing victim who was saved in dangerous circumstances with police presence due to violent crime, they responded quickly and bravely saving a life. The stabbing at the location given, so we're not going to say that, provided life-saving care for a victim of a stabbing who survived after a week in ICU at Albany. The scene was very dynamic, with PD actively securing the scene while the victim was being treated and extricated. Andrew helped on scene of a stabbing, and the decisions that we made together as a crew led to their survival. All of this was done while dealing with a very dangerous and hectic scene. So for a life-saving award, Andrew Sensini and Eden Ryan. Eden's on the call with us. You made me come up here twice. I know that makes me uncomfortable. Yeah. Why we say that is we all did personality assessments here, and we do personality assessments on every new hire coming in now. So we all know each other's styles. We're conscientious, so we're analytical folks that like to go sitting up at the computer and do work. But this is extra important. So one isn't here. What they don't know is that for our 2 providers of the year, into our budget, I built in some funding for the next fiscal year that we're about to start to be able to send folks to conferences. So they will get to have a choice of either the Vermont EMS conference, as long as they hold it this year, or the EMS and Fire Expo that occurs in Connecticut, which is also nearby. So we'll start with the one who isn't here. Rebecca has achieved some of the serious growth over the last 2 years. She became a lieutenant, achieved critical care paramedic endorsement, and now coordinates 2 major areas of operations at Bennington Rescue, clinical supplies and community engagement. On top of all that, Rebecca received external nominations for Paramedic of the Year and internal. One example from one of those external nominees was, I've had the pleasure of working side by side with Rebecca on many occasions throughout the past several years. Rebecca's always on top of her game, and being a fellow first responder myself, I can literally see her quickly yet efficiently and carefully brainstorming and planning out her next move to care for her patients. She's a pleasure to work with and is always very open and honest. with not only your patients, but colleagues as well. So Rebecca Borowski, our community engagement coordinator, who is out right now doing a school demonstration for EMS Week, is going to get Paramedic of the Year and the opportunity to travel to one of our regional conferences. Our last award. We're just about on time. I like it.
That's all you.
All right, so for EMT of the Year, Isaac came into his own as an EMT this year. We're all rooting for Isaac to take advantage of AEMT or paramedic education soon. A few examples of what nominees said about Isaac. Isaac understands trauma and went above and beyond not to trigger the kid. It was a critical moment and situation for a child who was having a mental health emergency. Isaac shows up to work every day with a positive attitude, willing to do all the extra plus some. He's a true example of what an EMT should be. So another one who sits in my group of personalities, Isaac White. Thanks. Cambridge, you can awkwardly come up here. So we talked about you, it was all good. But for giving back to Mark and give back and the rest of your crew, we really want to thank you all for the mutual coverage that we provide to each other and the fact that you're here covering us today. We'll be more than happy to do the same when you need.
I'll let Mark know.
I know, I just texted you right now.
Oh, good. Tell him all we're doing.
Thank you. With that, closing 30 seconds. I do appreciate you all coming out. It means a lot to this crew, the support from the public. We're probably gonna invite the ED next year. We had a nerve, in case you haven't seen it on our social media, we had a company come in and set up a Nerf battle zone out here, and we were able to shoot at each other with Nerf darts and run around and roll on the pavement and have a great time. I'm still feeling it from like here through. Squatting in ways I have not squat, even picking up patients in the ambulance. I'm trying to not get shot with Nerf darts. But we hope to have fun at work because our job's not always fun. And we see the worst situations you can imagine. We clean it up and we deliver them to the hospital. So I'm passionate about what we do. So thank you all and have a great weekend.